Offense, defense, special teams are great. It's a pretty good week.
Have the guys kind of come back down to earth now and focusing on Kentucky?
I hope so. I mean, that's the only thing that's going to get us through Kentucky this week is focusing on them and working hard to get better. It's hard not to just put it behind you, but I think they've done a good job and they're focused.
Coach, was the upset? Everyone's been raving about the offensive line. Was it more of a product of the upset and they've been playing better to you the whole time, or did they really just stand out and play much better to you this past weekend?
You know, we played as a team. We had great defense. Our special teams didn't give up any foolish things. We played pretty good as an offense. The offensive line played average. I mean, it wasn't an outstanding effort by them by no means. They played pretty good, but there's so much that we've got to work on. But it was more about our team playing together as one than any particular group playing great.
One thing Coach Spurrier has mentioned is that inside the 5-yard line, there seems to be a better ability to get the ball in the end zone than the previous few years. Is that because some of the spreads you had on the offensive line, do you think, with the blocking scheme?
You know, I don't know. I mean, as a line coach and as an offensive lineman, speaking for those guys, I mean, hey, we take great pride. When it gets within the 10-yard line, that's our territory. That's when we want to make a difference. That's when people are really they're focusing on what you're doing and how we're getting that ball in. And we want to run that football in. That's exactly what we want to do. You know, I've seen a lot of times here, and I won't say in years past, but last year a couple times where you'll be on the 3-yard line with throwing that fade, and I take pride upon ourselves to get it in from that point. I don't know. It's just a will about us that we want to do it, and we're having pretty good success right now. So we'll continue to try and work hard at it.
Coach Spurrier said yesterday he thought that Hutchinson played pretty well on Saturday. Were you pleasantly surprised Hutch was able to miss 2 games and come back and play so well against a top team like Alabama?
Hutch played okay. I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular. They all played kind of about the same. That's why we were very decent up front. There wasn't no terrible issues. There wasn't any outstanding play, so to speak. But yeah, he came back. He was a guy that hadn't played in 2 previous games. Did a good job. The one thing that was really key for us: no missed assignments. Yeah. No missed assignments. No blindside sacks. No things of that nature happened to us on Saturday. We were all pretty sound, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
That you went through the whole tape and there was not a missed assignment the whole
game.
There's
some missed blocks, and there may have been 1 or 2, but I mean in previous games we were 8 to 10, and you can't have that. Yeah. But not Saturday. They were pretty focused, and we had an open day. So you're preparing, got a couple extra days to prepare. So they did a good job.
Guys like TC and Hutch and Kyle and Jarrell, you starting to build 7, 8, little bit of depth there.
I think so. I think, with Hutch coming back and he played pretty good, and, Kyle's been playing pretty well. TC's kind of getting back into the rhythm. We got to get him in the swing of things a little bit more, but at this point, I think we are developing a little bit of depth. And the injuries, we don't have to deal with the training room issues like we did 2 and 3 weeks ago.
Does that make you a happy coach to see your line out there each and every practice and be able to coach them a little bit instead of seeing who is out there?
As long as we're practicing hard and we're playing pretty good, it makes me a happy coach. If they come out here and screw around, then it doesn't make me too happy. But right now we're pretty focused on what we're doing.
How much work are you getting with some of the freshmen right now that maybe aren't playing as much, like AJ? And I don't know if you decided on what you're going to do with Ronald.
I want to work with the guys that I feel are going to get out there and play on Saturday.
So you don't feel like those guys right now have a chance to get out there and play? You're pretty happy with the 8 we just talked?
Are you putting that in my mouth, or are you asking?
I'm asking you. That's why I'm asking.
Well, I'm working with the guys that are playing football right now, and those guys haven't played since Furman and Southern Miss. So I'm working with the Eckersons, the TCs, the AJs. Those guys are going to come in the spring more or less. I'm not focusing. I'm focusing on guys who can get the job done today.
So those are basically your top 8 that we talked about. And those are the guys you're playing
today, maybe. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow maybe not. Somebody might get hurt.
As it stands right now, are you fairly pleased with where you are with both run blocking and pass blocking?
We got to get better. We had one decent game. We go up here and we lay an egg, everybody jumps off the ship again. Everybody's kind of got 1 foot in the boat and 1 foot out of the boat. Depends on how well we play. So we'll see. It's a day-to-day process, but they're coming along.
How important is it for your run blocking to run more, not just to take pressure off Garcia, but to keep the defense off the field and keep them kind of fresh too?
Well, it's really important to run the football because in our scheme of things, you've got to become comfortable in what you're doing. the zone blocking scheme or whatever scheme you're working, you've got to run it numerous times before you actually get a feel for it. You don't know how they're going to play it if you just run it 1 or 2 times a quarter. So you've got to run it often to get pretty comfortable with it. But as we run it and we become successful, it does take the pressure off of Stephen or whoever might be back there.
John, you had some big wins at App State. Is there a trick to the trade for coaches to kind of swing that focus around from last weekend to this weekend?
I think it's the kind of individuals you recruit. If you recruit guys that are hungry and focused and winners, they enjoy the winning. And, it's a week-to-week process. And I tell these guys, no one win makes your season, no one loss makes your season. And you've got to understand how to focus on the next week. But winning feels pretty good. And I think these guys are enjoying it, so to speak. And I don't mean that they're out celebrating every day, but they know what's at the end of the line. And they can see each week we're getting a little bit better and a little bit better. So, they're on track. It's tunnel vision, so to speak. They only can see what's in front of them.
Maddox came in and looked really good for a few plays, and I give Lattimore a little bit of a rest. Would that be important too going forward?
Well, I think Maddox has done a great job. When he gets in there, he's got such a high energy. He really, whatever he's doing, whether it's protection, whether it's catching the football out of the backfield or running the football, he has just got an explosiveness about him that we enjoy seeing out there. He's a good change of pace. And he's Marcus is a strong, bruising back, and I don't know, something about B-Man, he's just making the most of his opportunities. I think I'm not even sure how many yards he had Saturday, but I know 3 or 4 carries, he was just blowing it out of the water. And it was good to see, and it's hard to stop a 1-2 punch like those two guys.
So change of pace is good.
Sure it is.
Okay.